I'm here because I am a roaring lion crying out righteousness. Understanding America, part 2. And I use that subject matter, understanding, to invite you to a place where we can dialogue. You don't have to speak back to me, but by saying understanding, I want to suggest to you that there's a level of appreciation intellectually of America that we want to discuss. The human body, designed by God in the book of Genesis, has, since God designed it in the book of Genesis, that the human body has used the intestines, and the real part of the intestine that is usually covered is a place where the sun don't shine. But the human creation designed by God was to use that particular area, that orifice of the body, to excrete things that are taken into the body by way of food and has no further use. At a period of time, you can get rid of it through that orifice at the back of your body. That design has not changed since God orchestrated it back in creation. And for water waste, if you will, to use the term, God designed for the man and the woman the front part of that same region of the body where generally the sun don't shine, to dismiss or dispense with water waste, so that can happen. Since the design of the human body, God designed, and it has not changed over these many thousands of years, that you breathe in air that you need to oxidize your body, to lungs to expand, and for the blood to be pumped. It is through the process of your nose that this air comes in and your lungs oxidizes. That process is still the same. When you understand America today and what America is now, what it was some time ago, the body, the human functions of the body have not changed since day one. Since day one. God gave the woman a womb, and in that womb, she can actually give birth to another human being. God didn't give that to a man. That has not changed. Now, there are many who want to change it, but I want you to look at something in terms of understanding America and understanding those that you think are against you, perhaps, that the consistency of God using the heart, the lungs, the real orifice of your body to get rid of physical waste hasn't changed. And God designed it so it will not need to change. However, humanity has decided, well, we're going to change its use. But it hasn't physically, it still does the same thing. You can use whatever you want to use or say what you want to say, but you can't change that physical use from day one. So when we look at where America is now today, let me put it, I'm coming back to that. Can I come back to that? Because I want to show you why would one want to change something that has worked so efficiently since the beginning of time. It has worked very efficiently. Why does one want to change it? And is it right to change those items at this present moment? Let's turn a corner. This past 4th of July weekend, the year July 4th, the year 2022, in the city of Chicago alone, there were 57 shootings over the weekend. 9 people were killed. A ton of people are still in hospitals right now from shootings in the hood in Chicago, Hamite people, the hood, the Hamite black folk. And that's routine. Nobody reports that. Even the local newspapers don't report it, because more than 5,000 have been killed in Chicago, and some 25,000 have been maimed or lamed or loss of leg or limb in Chicago over the last 12 years, right? 25,000 people that are suffering, they got shrapnel in their body, and 5,000 that are dead in the grave in Chicago because of shootings, gun shootings, right? Well, this weekend, of course, on the 4th of July, 10 o'clock in the morning, Central Time, out in Highland Park, Illinois, a young man by the name of Robert Cremo decided he wanted to kill some people. He killed 7 people, and injured another 38. So these shootings that are going on, it's not normal. This is not normal America. This is not, Chicago didn't have that many shootings under the days of Jack Legs Diamond and Al Capone. It was rare that they'd be shooting. Now, of course, they were Machine Gun Kelly and a bunch of others, but it was rare public shootings. Shootings at a 4th of July parade. I mean, the one thing you got to give it to Cremo for is that boy went down into Uvalde school, killed 19 students and 2 teachers in a school. Well, listen, that's say Parkland High School, Columbine High School, Virginia Tech, and a bunch of other schools, so that's no big. But to shoot up a 4th of July parade. And this boy had a wig, had a dress, had a whole makeup scheme to get away because he didn't plan to die, right? But these kinds of incidents are not normal to humanity. They're not normal from the beginning of time. So we're looking at 2 very abnormal things. We're looking at the abnormal use of the body that has not changed and will not change, but man has decided to change its use. And we're looking at the use of violence against humanity in ways it was unthinkable. Not even in war were people as vicious as we see what's happening now. I wanted to be able to say that, and I wanted to be able to try to explain to you what's the cause of these shootings. What is the cause of it? Social media does play a small part. And I want to go a little bit further. This is going to sure enough shock you. This will get you for sure. I want to tell you that these are Columbine, which is the first major shooting out in Colorado, going back nearly a generation ago now. The Columbine shooting. This is not the same thing that we see now. And the reason why Columbine is different, remember Columbine involved 2 people, right? Everything we've seen after that has been a lone wolf. Columbine is not the predicate. Yeah, I'll say Columbine is not the predicate or the template of what we see happening in Parkland and El Paso or in that Baptist church down in Texas or what we saw in Uvalde. Or Columbine is not the template. Columbine belongs somewhere else. Remember, it's 2 fellas. You don't see, this is one man. You get the idea. What I want to do is a lot of people hopping back, well, this got started with Columbine. Columbine is dead. Columbine is not the reason why these young boys are shooting the way they're shooting. And the other thing about Columbine that's different is that Dylan Klebold, or whoever his name was a student at the school. Now, there have been some up in Michigan. I think the other day was a student shooting. But many of these shootings, the shooter is not a student. So Columbine's different. So the thing I want to suggest to everybody, if you want to try to find what's the cause of this carnage that's going on in America today, first, stop talking about it in the light of Columbine, and somehow or another, Columbine was a plant bid for it. It isn't. And you're only going to hear that from me because you're only going to get, well, you get the idea. That's the first thing. So what is the cause? Then Pastor Manning, Columbine is not, what is the cause of this? And why is it that all of these people that are doing the shooting, whether it was the 9 people that died in Chicago this weekend, or the 7 that died in Highland Park, 30 miles south, right? Over the 4th of July weekend, 16 people died from gunshots. And another 80 or 90 are in the hospital from gunshot. You know, Highland Park is only 30 miles north on the Lake Michigan from Chicago. All right? Well, what's the cause of this? What is happening? I can tell you what is happening. Our young people have nothing to look up to. our young people, and we're talking about the youth that do the shootings in Chicago and the youth that do the shootings in El Paso or Top Supermarket or Uvalde or Highland Park. They have nothing to look up to. They have nothing to honor. They have no reason to think that life is sacred. And as lightly as I can tread upon this, there is, in our movies and in our music, there's a sense that life is not sacred. There's also this sense that you can shoot somebody and perhaps they'll get up tomorrow and live. There used to be this sense that funerals and death was grievous and that life itself was precious and one would protect it. But these young people don't see that. There's nothing in social media. There's nothing in the universities. There's nothing in the churches that is teaching that life is sacred. So when you remove that sense that this is sacred, there's nothing to stop someone who has an unction to go out and shoot somebody. Now, this is the second time my phone did that. I had enough of you. What is this? I've had enough of you over here. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, so, but humanity, the adults, the fathers and mothers of these children, the professors, the people in media, people in music, people in entertainment, they have put forth a facade that life is happy-go-lucky and that nothing is sacred. Not even marriage vows or not even the Bible is sacred anymore. Humanity is not. So you're going to see a zillion more shootings because in order to stop the flood of these young people being turned loose like a herd of cattle, there needs to be something that they're looking up to that says life is sacred and this is wrong. Well, there's nothing in our presidential, there's nothing in our politics, there is nothing in our media, there's nothing in our churches that says that this is wrong. Nothing. So it's only going to get worse. You know, you're driving down the highway. The speed limit sign says 65 miles an hour. So you're going to do 75. Well, Smokey, that's the police, sitting behind a bush along the highway, see you going by, he clocks you at 75, zips out behind you, runs up behind you, and gives you a ticket. That'll help you stay in line. They'll let you know that, don't be. But there's none of that. Our media, and with Hamite, that's black people, they call themselves black or African American, they're Hamites. Rap music has taken away any sense of, this is my brother, this is my boy, this is my man, this is my hangout, this is my homie. That's gone. Some of y'all don't remember. Rap music, when it first launched, they killed each other. The East Coast, West Coast, Suge Knight, Tupac. I mean, the killings just from the musicians of killing, forget about killing in the hood, killing each other because that's what the music produced. That was the idea about the music and being tough and fighting and gangster. That was the whole idea behind it. So now we're left with young boys with 15 years old with Glock 9 who will bust a cap on you in the middle of the night. Because they listen to that, and all that sacredness of life has been gone. They don't even understand. They call a person like me an old fogey. They don't even understand the sacredness of life. Same thing, however, with the LGBTQ community. They don't understand that God designed the body, and he's not changed the design. Now, they have changed it, and the whole world is promoting change what God made. Change the body function. Change what God, if you don't like it, cut it off. And there is no stopping them in what they're doing now. And so when you look and try to discover, well, where are we? It's going to get worse. A whole lot worse. And there's going to be a lot more death. You know, the matter of it, and I want you to remember, Columbine is not the template. Columbine was something altogether, maybe even a one-off. And the churches have now been demoralized. You know, you want to pray for people. You don't really need to pray this, but you need to think about it. So, you know, I pray Pastor Manning, you know, he keeps telling the truth about what this change from what God has done, and the fact that young people, even the ones that don't pick up guns, even the ones that don't go down the homosexual road, they don't have anything to look up to. They don't have any strength. There's nothing at the top that says strength. There's nothing at the top that says look up to. There's nothing at the top that says sacred. There's nothing up there. The older people have all sold out. Politicians, preachers, they've all sold out. Pastor Manning is standing on the word. Pray for him that they don't take him down. Now, they're not going to take me down. But pray. So when you see me win, say, well, I was with Pastor Miles praying for his victory anyway. You know, so you can say I'm a part of that victory. Because I want to be something for the men to look up to. But I'm competing with Netflix. I'm competing with AMC Media. I'm competing with Death Row Records. I'm competing with Princeton, with Harvard. I'm competing with the presidency, I'm competing with the Supreme Court. I'm competing with all out here, all by my lonesome. And doing a good job too, by the way, if I don't say so myself, I have to say so myself. In competition, all of those, I'm taking them out, taking on the Supreme Court, I'm taking on Death Row Records, I'm taking on the president, I'm taking them all on. I'm taking on Harvard, taking on Yale, I'm taking them all on. I'm taking them all on. All by myself. Come on. We're gonna go to the number of rounds on this one. Come on with your bad self. Come on. Taking on Black Lives Matter. Come on. Pray for me. Because I'm a fighter. And God sent me here to do this. But moving back from that bit of bravado, if you don't mind my expression, you don't mind my doing that, do you? The thing of it is just the truth of the matter is that, and while I'm not here supporting or defending NRA or anybody else, but even if you take the guns away, it might make it a little more difficult to kill. But the real cause is that these young people have nothing to look up to. They have nobody. The adults today are sicker than hell. In fact, what I see happening in the courts, the Supreme Court justices, the media, what's happening on television with the professors in university, they are worse than these young boys that go out and kill. They are worse. In my estimation, I think they're more insidious as to what I see happening. And so I want to be able to help you understand that process. I pray that we can still get along after this, that we can still be friends. But these shootings are not going to stop. Columbine was a one-off. And our young people, both black and white youth, especially young boys, they have nothing to look up to. And the world is trying to excoriate me as some sort of awful person. I think one of the other things, however, is that, a lot of young boys, black Hamites, they thought that Obama was going to really be a game changer, that there would be a sense of Booker T. Washington again. There'd be a sense of Toussaint L'Ouverture and Obama. I mean, I think they thought that Obama would be what they heard how their grandfathers were going back 60, 70 years ago, how strong he was, the kind of man he was. I think a lot of these young boys thought that Obama was going to be, not a black nationalist like Malcolm X, but a strong leader like Malcolm in terms of standing up. I think they thought that, the young Hamite boys. Now many of them are middle-aged men, early adulthood men. And Obama was none of that. He was no Malcolm. He was no Booker T. Washington. Hell, he wasn't even an Al Green. He wasn't a good Al Green. He was none of that. And it deflated. And that's when the shooting started in Chicago. It deflated the young black boy, black man. It deflated. He was none of that. He wasn't a good James Brown. He wasn't a Booker T. Washington. He wasn't nobody's Malcolm. He certainly nobody's Martin King. He's nobody Adam Clayton Powell Jr. He was none of that. Hell, he wasn't even a good rapper. He was a surfer, a half-white, half-black surf boy from out there in Honolulu, Hawaii, passing himself off as a brother, as a homie. And people just lost hope. The end of the chain, end of the line. We've been to the mountaintop with Obama, and there ain't a damn thing up there to look at. We've been to the mountaintop, and ain't nothing to see. We've been to the presidency, and there ain't nothing to see up there with Obama. So the shooting started. The churches dropped their Bible and picked up their skirts and said, let's go with same-sex marriage. He's done that for us. We want to claim something. We got to get something out of it. Let's get same-sex. All the churches, Hamite churches, dropped their Bibles and pulled up their skirts and jacked down their pants and said, let's go with that. At least we got that out of him. And so it is. But me, everybody, I'm James David Manning. I'm the Lord's servant.